The thing is, when you get older, you still want to do geeky stuff, but now you know more about things, and it's harder to like stuff you're into. Like, getting older has affected the way I enjoy horror movies. Yeah, they made a direct sequel to Halloween 40 years after the original. I was all excited until I realized, oh, wait a second. Michael Myers is 61 now. There is no way in hell he's killing that many people one night at 61. You can't sneak up on nobody when you're 61. Your joints are all creaking and popping, you're sweating, you're reeking of Bengay, you're breathing all hard. You're waiting in some woman's closet waiting to kill her, and next thing you know, your old ass done fell asleep. What time is it? Oh, what, 10:30? Oh, fuck it, I done missed Blue Bloods. This is bullshit. I'll get him next year. Yeah, and then once you get older, I feel like if I ever got a time machine, I would go back in time and just fuck up my own childhood. Some people what, I'll go kill Hitler, or I'll go watch, the birth of Jesus. No, I'm gonna go destroy my childhood, and I'm gonna camp out at the movie theater I used to go to as a kid, and I will catch myself before I see movies I had no business seeing. I'd be waiting, I catch my younger self. Hey man, how you doing? Where you going, the movies? Oh yeah, I'm going to the movies. What are you gonna see? Oh, Superman 3. No, the fuck you aren't. No. Not on my watch. Hell no. I'm going to let you in a little secret. Superman 2 was the last good Superman movie they ever made. Do not let me catch you seeing another Superman movie, all right? But Richard Pryor is in Superman 3. Do you know how fucking stupid you sound right now? Superman and Richard Pryor have nothing to do with each other, man. Why are they? Look at the poster. Superman is carrying Richard Pryor like Lois Lane. No black man wants to be carried around like a bitch by Superman. I don't give a damn how many powers he has. I would catch myself as I'm coming out of the 1986, 1985 original Transformers movie. The one where Optimus Prime dies and everything. Hey, man, how you doing? Oh, man, I just saw the Transformers movie. How was it? Oh, it was great, man. Hey, man, what if I told you 20 years from now they make a live-action Transformers movie? Oh, that sounds amazing. Well, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's not. By the second movie, you hate Transformers movies so much you never want to see another one again. Good talk. Going to a Prince concert. All right. It's true, man. Has anybody seen the last 3 Star Wars movies? Yeah, what'd you think? Yeah, see, the older I get, I feel like I don't like Star Wars anymore because I feel like the Force is just unnecessarily wonky, right? After watching the last 3 movies, I feel like if I was in Jedi school, I would get kicked out because I'd be, the instructor would be up there, all right, listen, you guys are here to learn how to use the Force. The Force is a bad motherfucker, all right? If somebody is trying to take off on a ship, you can just grab that ship and keep it from taking off. If you get blasted out of the airlock, you can just use the Force, zip right back to the airlock, knock on it, let you back in. If your lightsabers cross the room, it will come right to your hand. I've raised my hand. Oh, question. What if my opponent has the high ground? Oh, don't let him do that. No, you're fucked. No, just do not. Let them get the high ground. You have no options if they got the high ground. You are fucked. Okay. What if I'm sinking in quicksand? Nope, you're dead. No, you cannot do shit with the Force. You're sinking in quicksand. You are fucked. It's screw this. I'm going to go to Boba Fett's Bounty Hunting Academy. This is bullshit.
I'm so happy to be out of the apartment and doing things. I think I've binged every TV show. I don't think there's any left. My favorite one during the lockdown, I binged from start to end. I went back, hit the classics, Star Trek The Next Generation, front to back, whole thing, boom. Don't have a lot of chances to do that, right? You guys Star Trek The Next Generation fans? Yeah? Yeah. Here's what struck me when I was watching the show is I wish I could have been there when they were pitching Star Trek The Next Generation, because I feel like I can see the exact moment where they kind of ran out of ideas. So they're having the Star Trek Next Generation pitch meeting, like, all right, new Star Trek show, let's do this. First thing we need is new characters. Who you got? Who's some new characters, right? It's like, all right, number 1, Data. Data's going to be awesome. Data's like the inverse of Spock, because like Spock had these emotions, he wanted to bury them. Data loves emotions. He wants emotions but can't have them. So we're going to watch Data struggle with that. And as Data kind of learns to be human, we're going to learn to be human while watching Data. It's going to be very profound. Like, yes, awesome, Data. Put him in the show. Boom. Who else you got? We got Geordi LaForge, and check this out. Geordi LaForge is the engineer, and Geordi LaForge is disabled, but his disability doesn't define him, but he's also not hiding it. It's out there for everyone to see. And Geordi's going to teach people that in the future, a disability is not something to get rid of or hide. It's part of the whole. And I think that could be very inspirational, and he should probably host Jeopardy! And they're like, boom, Geordi LaForge, put him in the show. Love it. Who else you got? We got Miles O'Brien. He's just some guy. Is that it? Yeah, Miles O'Brien, just some fucking guy that works on the ship. Miles O'Brien, he's going to teach us. He's going to teach us that sometimes people don't add or take away from a situation. They just kind of exist. And like sometimes there's people you see at a work party, you're like, hey, Miles is here, but you don't want to be one-on-one with him really. He kind of works in a group, and you'll get like stuck in a conversation with Miles O'Brien. You can see at Riker's table, everyone's having a really good time, but you're stuck with Miles O'Brien. Miles O'Brien is going to teach us that sometimes people are just a fucking guy, just some guy. Miles O'Brien. They're like, I don't know. They're like, let's just put him in, fine, okay. But you know what? We didn't get enough in Next Generation, because then Deep Space Nine kicks in. They're like, all right, Deep Space Nine, now we've gotten people comfortable with our version of the Federation. We can push it further with Deep Space Nine. We're going to subvert it while still being true to it. We're going to look a little closer. We're going to take this as an opportunity to look closer at some classic characters. Who else we got? Let's bring back Worf. Yeah, everybody loves Worf. And with Worf, we can expand Worf further, and we can see how Worf kind of struggles with keeping his culture while blending in. And Worf is a perfect example of the story of the immigrant, and also just a fan favorite. Like, yeah, Worf, put him in the show. Who else should we get from Next Generation? You know how much O'Brien we need? We need Miles O'Brien. Let's do this. Like, why are we bringing Miles? You know what? I'm going to give you a chance. How are we going to expand and deepen the character of Miles O'Brien? We're going to give him a wife. What's interesting about nothing? They're just like a normal couple. Just some fucking dude and his fucking wife just hanging out, watching movies together, playing on the tricorder. That's it. Miles O'Brien, just some fucking guy. Star Trek.
Being the only Black Dungeons and Dragons player in Northwest Baltimore, getting a campaign started was a daunting task at best. Jimmy was talking about the satanic panic. I got the carry-off from that. Everybody thought I worshiped the devil. My demographic where I live skews very religious, and I would get harangued by old church ladies. They'd be like, come here, baby. Now you know that Dungeons and Dragons is just the devil trying to take your soul. And I'm like, really? That's Satan's big plan for my soul? Dungeons and Dragons, he couldn't corrupt me with like money and power like everybody else? Could you imagine Satan's working late on Friday? I don't know, maybe he's covering Mitch McConnell's shift, and he's like, and he's tempting people, and he's like, you, sir, in the red shirt, give me your soul, and I will give you riches beyond your wildest dreams. Or you, in the white shirt, I see the lust in your heart. Give me your soul, and I will give you the means to fulfill all your carnal desires. And then he gets to me, and he's like, you, yes, you, the grown-ass adult in the Sailor Moon t-shirt. Give me your soul, and I'll give you this book full of swords and word problems. Does it promise me money or sex? And he's like, no, it'll guarantee you have less of both. Yeah, it looks like college coursework. Yes, if your degree is in celibacy. Yes. Okay, quick Dungeons and Dragons story. So I used to work in an auto parts warehouse. I was the only nerd there. It was me and like 12 goons. I don't know why 12 thugs were working at an auto parts warehouse. I don't know if they were trying to steal a car in installments. But one day I brought my D&D books because that's how you make friends with thugs. And I have my books and I'm reading them because I'm going to run a campaign later. And this guy comes up and he's like this big buff dude with like, he looked like one of those people from Sons of Anarchy. He's like this long-haired dude with like a vest with all the patches. Looked like a tough biker dude. And he comes up and he's like, "Hey, what's that?" And at first, I thought he was talking about reading. But no, he's like, "No, it's in the books." And I ended up explaining to him and a group of thugs who had gathered the general concept of tabletop role-playing games. I was like, okay, you build a character, and then you take these dice, and they were like, "Dice, you say?" And then I was like, you go on adventures, and you defeat monsters and gain experience points. Once you gain enough experience points, you go up a level, and you get broader abilities, but but you face more challenging monsters. And they were like, "Oh, okay." I'm not making the next part up, by the way. I get back from lunch. They have my monster manual open, talking about which monsters they would bust a cap in to gain the easy experience points. And at one point, one of them is like, "Hey, yo, what is that, a ogre? A ogre? Yeah, I'd pop the shit out of that." To which his homeboy said, "Nigga, read the page. It's immune to non-magical weapons, bitch." So that guy's our cleric now, and
This is another gaming song. Just so you know, I do monthly online shows for free. You'll find out about those if you become a friend of mine on Facebook or Patreon or whatever. This is a song about the greatest gaming story ever told, about the greatest game ever played. It is rather unoriginally titled, Best Game Ever. One of my friends told me that this was my stairway to heaven. I'm good with that. It was the best game ever. The traps and riddles were so clever, and hardly any of our party even died. Except for George, but he deserved it. He kept doing really dumb shit when we split his magic items up. I swear to God, he almost cried. And when he came back in the game with his new gnome thief mage assassin, we took all his gear again and sold him as a slave. Best game ever. It was the... One more, let's go. It was the best game ever. I took his set of +4 leather. Then we hopped on board the plot train. Let it take us for a ride. But then George came back. And this time he played a druid who refused to leave the forest and always tried to start a fight. And that's exactly what he did with this poor farmer on the outskirts of the town who turned out to be a god in disguise. Best game ever, 'cause George's druid's head got severed and he came back in the game while we were going through this cave to slay a dragon. This time he played a barbarian who hated both our magic users. They carried a sword of magic flames, and when we reached that dragon's lair, he argued tactics for an hour till we fed him to the dragon. Then we killed it in 3 rounds. Best game ever! I see. Make some noise if this is the first time you've ever heard this song. Yeah. Make some noise if you're here with your gaming group tonight, right now. Yeah. This whole table right there in the back, that's a gaming group. You guys right there. Right, all of you, this whole thing, or just you 4 right here, this group right here? Just all right, yeah. Raise your hand if you're in that gaming group. I want to know. Where are you at? All right. Keep your hand up if you know which one in the group is George. All I'm saying, and I don't want to point any fingers, y'all, but if you don't know who George is, it's you. And as we wound down the adventure back in town inside the tavern, there was George as a half-elf, half-orcish monk illusionist. And as we counted out our treasure, he insisted on attempting to seduce the barmaid, laughing as she cried and raised her fist, till we all picked up our weapons. And as he died, he swore he would never game with us again as long as he lived. Best game ever. Saved a barmaid, slayed a dragon, got some treasure, raised a flagon, and we racked up the XP, and we will never have to deal with George's bullshit in another game again. That is, at least until next week, because he is our DM's brother, and their mom won't let us game here in their basement anymore unless we say that he can play. And yeah, I know you had to be there, but I swear by all that's holy, victory was never sweeter than it was today. Best game ever. Thank you so much. I'm Mikey Mason. Enjoy the rest of your Origins.